I just want to thank William Fawcett for the introduction, and I want to thank all of you. But time is against us, so let's figure out how we can, in the next 45 minutes, show everybody here who really wants to how to become a millionaire. Is that all right? Today we're talking about presenting the opportunity. Presenting the what? I want to tell everybody that the company has a presentation that if you learn it, you can become a millionaire. Is that all right? And if you guys put the same amount of effort and energy into this presentation that you would to your assignment on your job, how about that? The amount of effort that you put into cleaning your room, yes? The amount of effort that you put into some relationship, yes? You could be financially free. Is that all right? Now, I want to tell everybody that when I first got into this business, I had no success. None. For the first 4 days I was in this business, I talked to 50 people. How many people got in? None. Zero. I thought somehow I can step into this business and wing it. You cannot wing a multi-million-dollar opportunity. On day 5 in this business, I went to Marty Wynn, and I said, Marty, this business don't work. Marty laughed at me and he said, did you do your 5 Links University? And of course, up until the 4th day, I had not done it. So what I committed to do on the 5th day was to prove Marty wrong. I thought I could outsmart him. I got up at 4 a.m. in the morning. I did my 5 Links University, every module and extended training 3 times in a row. How many times? Something incredible happened because I started at 4 a.m., I finished at 6 p.m. At 6 p.m., I started calling friends and family. Less than 2 hours later, I had 10 people on my team. The reason I point that out for everybody in this business, there's nothing special about my prior career. No special intelligence needed. Everything that you need to succeed in this business, you get it on day 1. Everybody got that? So today, let's remove all of the excuses. And let me tell everybody here that the power of the presentation is so incredible that when I went to the presentation, I had a chance to see some of the best in the business. One of the people who did the presentation for me, first it was Coach K. She did the first half. And Marty Wynn did the second half. Let me tell you, I did not go to a PBR on purpose. Everybody got that? I got tricked into going. November 14th of last year, it was cold, it was dark, it was raining, I was hungry, I was tired, I was moody, and the last thing I wanted to do was get into this business. I heard about this business for 3 years. How many years? 3. And then I go into a room with 50 people. I didn't know any of them. I sat in the back of the room. I crossed my legs. Y'all know the power leg cross, right? The one that says I'm important. The one that says I don't belong here with everybody else. I crossed my arms so I could look at my watch, right? Because I decided that in 30 minutes, I'm out of here. I don't care what they're offering. I don't care if they were giving away I want to say BMWs and Bentleys, but that ain't true. But I just determined that I wasn't interested. I had decided that my answer was no before I heard the question. But then Marty got up and he started talking. And some of y'all know Marty and some of y'all heard him present. If you ever get a chance to hear the man present and you got to travel 50 miles, travel. Because when the man got up, he talked to me about this business like Thomas Jefferson talked about the Declaration of Independence. He talked to me about this business like Abraham Lincoln talked about the Emancipation Proclamation. He talked to me about this business like Martin Luther King gave the speech on I Have a Dream. And somehow, with all those people in the room, I felt like Marty was just talking to me. I found out last night he told me I was. He said, Thomas, I was talking to you. I just want to tell you that if Marty did not know this presentation like the back of his hand, he could not have delivered on that day. It wasn't a last minute, let me throw it together deal. The man had practiced, he had studied it, and he had mastered it. And I said, Marty, I want to present like you one day. And you know what Marty did? He gave me a CD. Marty said, we got somebody in this business, his name is Steve Carter. And I didn't know who Steve Carter was. I had no idea. I couldn't imagine that there was any presentation that would even come close to what Marty had presented that night. But I took home this CD, and I'm telling you, my wife is here in the front row to testify. I played that CD at least 10 times a day. To the point my wife said, what's up with this thing with you and Steve? All I knew is that every time I played Steve Carter's presentation on that video, I wanted to get in. I was already in. I said, if I keep watching it, maybe, just maybe one day, I'll be 1/3, 1/2, 1/4, 1/100th as good as Steve. So I watched the presentation, and I realized that he was even better than I thought. I realized that Steve Carter is the Michael Jordan of this industry. And I don't even know where he is out there. Wherever you are, Steve, I just want to say thank you. I just want to thank you on behalf of everybody in this business. And I want to tell, where is he? I want to tell everybody here that Steve Carter, because of his video, is responsible for at least 400 plus people on my team. That is the power of the what? Presentation. I was on the airline coming over here and I was tired. I talked to the guy getting me on the plane, and I sat down, I said, I want to show you a video. True story. We sat down together and we watched Steve Carter, and I watched it like I had never seen it before. The man said, call me on the weekend when the company has the special promotions so I could get in. Y'all will get it next week. Now, quickly, let me talk to you about this PBR. The PBR is your ground game. It's your what? Now, some of y'all know football, and I think it's almost Super Bowl time, right? Any team that's going to become a champion, they need to have an air game, right? A good quarterback, yes. And they need to have a ground game. A ground game is the running back, right? They hand on the ball, and he moves the ball forward a little bit at a time. Y'all with me? There are very few teams that can win a championship with just having an air game, right? And the air game, if you don't know, is the internet, but we're not going to get into that today. Is that all right? Your ground game is the PBR. Now, I know some of y'all are new, still spelling 5 links with a K. PBR stands for Private Business Reception. It simply means you're going to bring over some friends and family, and you're going to talk to them about the business. And if you present the business effectively, God willing, they'll get in. Is that all right? When I first got into this business, I started to hand out flyers. And some of you have heard this story. I handed out hundreds of flyers every single day. And you guys have asked me what was on the flyers. I'll tell you. On the flyers, it says, if you want to find out how to be financially free, go to this website. If you like what you see, email me back. It also says that I'm having a private business reception that you're welcome to come to tomorrow at 7. Everybody got that? I did that 4 days a week. When I first started to do it, everybody I knew laughed at me. Kids laughed at me. Family members laughed at me. Lawyers laughed at me. I even laughed at me. But understand this, in 85 days in this business of handing out flyers every single day, we passed the income of, I would say, 90% of the United States. Some people in this room, you got to become comfortable with becoming uncomfortable. Let some people laugh at you, so what? You're not perfect, you never will be. But learn this presentation, invite people out, and let people say no. Is that okay? I love this quote by Michael Jordan. He says, I play to win, whether during practice or the real game. And I will not let anything get in the way of me and my competitive enthusiasm to win. Guys, what I'm telling you is this business is the opportunity for everybody in this room to win. Don't let anybody get between you and your winning. Is that okay? Now, with any contest, with any feat that you want to accomplish, there are ground rules. When you guys do your presentations, your PBR, you got to arrive early. Get there on time. Test your equipment. Look at the cords. Understand anything that can go wrong will go wrong. All right? Just anticipate that. Bring guests with you. I arrived at a PBR because my good friend put me in the car. He did not tell me where we were going. Y'all with me? I should have got suspicious. But he put me in. I trusted him, right? When you go to a PBR or you having a PBR, the best thing that you could do is pack your car. Is that all right? They say that 1 IMR in the car is worth 10 on the way. Is that all right? Now listen, if you go to the PBR, hold all of your questions, especially if you're in the business. I don't understand that. If there's something that you got a question about to the presenter, wait till it's over, right? Silence your cell phones. Don't walk in late to a presentation, walk past the projector, and start waving to your boys. You missed that opportunity. Are y'all with me? You gotta have high energy. Those of you who know me, I bounce. Y'all seen me do this. I bounce at the beginning of my presentation. I bounce in the middle of it. I bounce at the end. Why do I bounce? I'm excited about this business. I love this business. In my speech, I said to everybody, this business is easy. Work is hard. You guys don't understand, working at McDonald's is hard. Working 3 jobs is hard. Being a single parent is hard. Being broke is hard. This business, let me give you some tips that's going to make this business easy. Is that all right? The only thing you need to do to make this business easy is have a why. Have a what? Why. Some of you act like you don't know why you're in this business. Let me give you some reasons. If you think about these reasons right before you give your presentation, it'll be the best presentation you ever gave every night. How's that? Here's one why for you. You ever was driving and find yourself with no gas in your car? Pull up to the gas station and it can only get $5 worth of gas? That's a what? A why. You ever had a bunch of groceries on a conveyor belt? Get to the front, look at the subtotal and put half of them back? You ever get a phone call on your cell phone from a 1-800-888-866-855 and decide you're not going to answer the call? That's a what? You ever ran out of student loan deferments because they're only going to give you 3? You ever had to move your car around from spot to spot in the middle of the night? The mailman ever came and brought you a package and you refused to sign for it? You ever get an envelope and it got those four color papers in it, the white, the green, the yellow, the pink? Don't act like y'all ain't never got one. Let me tell you guys, your why is so incredible. If people understand why you're in this business, if they understand why a single mother or a father with 4 jobs will take the time to give the presentation, guess what? They want what you got. If this is the thing that you can work hard all day and still at 7 o'clock put some perfume and some cologne and look like $1 million and walk out and share it with somebody, they want that. I wanted what Marty had. I didn't know what it was, but I didn't have it. I knew every day I saw the man, he had a pair of boxer shorts. I mean, like trunks, like basketball shorts and flip-flops. He was making a king's income. He was able to have his kids home, and they didn't have to look out the front door for a role model. I said, Marty, I want that. Where can I get it? Marty said, it's in the presentation. Everything that you ever wanted is in that presentation. I talked to some of y'all stuttering through the first slide. You should never stutter through your why. If you don't know nothing else, you should know why you are here. Because if you don't know why do you expect somebody else to care? I tell people all the time, but if I got 6 minutes to give a presentation, I'm going to spend 5 minutes on my what? On my why. Because if you know why I do it, maybe you find your why and you'll get in. Now listen. Let me tell you about all the top earners in this company. All of the top earners, every single one without exception, they present this opportunity effectively 2 to 4 nights a week. Right? So you want to figure out what it's going to take for you to become a national director, SVP, a platinum, double platinum, a diamond, learn this presentation, do it 2 to 4 nights a week. Right? And I don't care if nobody shows up. I don't care if it's you and your dog, you and your dog, you and your kids. Present the opportunity. Be prepared for a crowd. Because one day they might show up. I heard a quote one day, it says, build it, and they'll come. Now, let me tell you a few ways you can build this business if you are not ready to give a presentation. A couple of ways that you can build it is you can do it in person. Go and talk to your friend one-on-one, meet them at the work, sit down and talk to them at the Starbucks. That's one way you could do it. You can give them a DVD, yes. You can invite them to look at a webinar. You could do a telephone conference. You could do a 3-way call. All of those work, but nothing works like the PBR. Nothing works like somebody looking at you and feeling your pain or sharing your joy. I guarantee you. Go home and try it. It works. Now, a lot of you do one-on-one presentations. Some of you, that's the only way that you present. Let me tell you, if that's the only way that you're going to do presentations is one-on-one, you can forget being a top earner. It's not going to happen. You can't multiply yourself enough times. This is a business of duplication. It's a business that if your team sees you presenting, I saw Marty presenting, I wanted to present. My team sees me present, they present. You can't do that on a one-on-one. Everybody with me? The other thing about the one-on-one is this. When you meet somebody one-on-one, they are preparing for mental combat against you. They don't want to feel like you convinced them or persuaded them to get into this business, even if they need it, even if they're broke. They don't want to feel, it's like a mental game of chess, right? If you go left, they go right. You got to understand the PBR allows people to be open-minded. Some of you or many of you go to church, and you know that your pastor can get up and call all of y'all sinners, and nobody's offended. We all think that the pastor is talking about the next guy. We never think he's talking about us. In the PBR, Marty was able to talk to me, but make me feel like he was talking to everybody else. Everybody with me? Now, one thing I want to tell you is that this business requires effort. It requires what? Effort. It requires what? Effort. Requires what? Effort. This business is not a get-rich-quick scheme, right? Y'all know that by now. Some of y'all been in his business 3-4 years, yes? This business takes time and it takes effort. I did it in 85 days, but let me tell you, I had some big dogs chasing me, all right? And I just figured I'm going to outrun them. I want to tell you, if you had 9 bars of gold in your backyard, how long would you dig for that gold? If I told you that there's a bar of gold in your backyard, would you start digging and say, man, I can't find this bar of gold, I'm going back to my job? I ain't got time to keep digging. I know it's there, but forget it. I got to go do this project, right? If you understand the value of this company and what it can do for you, you're going to dig one day, and you're going to dig, and you're going to dig, and you're going to dig, and guess what you're going to find? You're going to find your first bar of gold, and that's the IMR. And do you stop there knowing you got 8 more bars of gold? Of course not. You go digging again. And I'm telling you, so what your back hurt? So what you got blisters? So what you sick and you tired and it's that time and dig, right? Because guess what? That second bar is a trainer. The third one is executive trainer, right? The fourth one is executive director. The fifth one is a national director. The 6th one is an SVP, right? The 7th one is a platinum SVP. The 8th one is a double platinum SVP. And the 9th bar of gold is a diamond. When do you stop digging? Never. You stop digging when you get your goal. You stop digging when you get what you came for. That's when you stop. I told everybody, somebody said to me when I first got into this business, they said, Thomas, it's a marathon. Pace yourself. You're going to run out of steam. I looked at this video And I saw Steve Carter. I heard he'd been in the business for years. As far as I know, he ain't running out of steam. I look at that dude every day. I said, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. Steam blowing out my ears. Forget the fact it's a marathon. This is a sprint. It's a never-ending sprint. Until every bill you have is paid off. That's when you quit. Now, this is the part nobody likes. Get y'all ready for this. Not everything is sunshine and roses. There's an elephant in the room. Can you see it? Where is it? Y'all see it? Everybody act like they don't see it, but it's right up there big as day. Right, Barry? You see it. And the very first elephant that we all see when we give this presentation is it a what? Is this a pyramid? I've heard that from people so many times. If I got $1 for every time they told that to me, I could quit. Let me tell you this. First, it's not a pyramid, right? This company gives people goods and services. We are a seller and a reseller of those goods and services, and because we do that, we are paid a small commission. Is that all right? People don't have a problem with that until they're the ones getting paid. I personally don't have a problem with it. Do you? You got to understand that we work with a lot of Fortune 500 companies. You ever heard of Verizon, Sprint, T-Mobile, GE, Dish, DirecTV, Verizon Fios? You think we just slip one over on all these companies? 5LINK's just outsmarted everybody? These people got lawyers who got lawyers who got lawyers. They're not going to ruin their reputation, and we're not going to ruin ours. Everybody with that? Now let me tell you what is a pyramid. Your job. And unfortunately for many of us, we're on the bottom of it. You ain't gonna never outwork your boss. You ain't gonna never wake up and get his job, right? He ain't gonna never hand you over the keys to his office and say, Shirley, good job, you the boss now. After 40 years of working on your job, you're gonna be more broke than what you were when you started, and you're not gonna have any options. And I love the president, but I gotta tell everybody, listen, healthcare, you still need to write a check some days. Right? And if you find yourself without one, that's you under the pyramid. And I'm telling everybody, put yourself in a position that you have options. Is that okay? Now, sometimes people get into this business and they say, I don't have time to do the business. You ever heard that? When people tell you that they don't have the time to do the business, it's just people telling you, listen, I am prepared to work 3 and 4 shifts until I'm 80 years old, not see my spouse, not see my children, never go on a vacation, always complain that I don't have money. I got time for all of that. That's all they're telling you. And some of you guys trying to convince a person to change. My mother used to say, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. Your mama's never told y'all that. Listen, spend your time with people who want this business, okay? Now, some people say they don't have money. You ever heard that excuse? You go in their house and they got a 70-inch TV sitting over their bed. Their kids got sneakers that cost $200, right? They got a Mercedes and a BMW and everything else, but they too broke to do the business. Got $900 shoes, $600 purse. Listen, if you knew what I knew about this business, you would go and borrow $1 from every person that you needed to get in. If it cost you $249 to get in, borrow $1 from 249 people. And if you felt embarrassed by borrowing $1, I say go to 500 people and borrow what? 50 cents. I'm just telling you, put your pride aside and get what you came for. Is that all right? Because when you're a millionaire, you can do what? Pay them back. And the last thing is disbelievers. You ever run into people and say, it's too good to be true? Listen, it is. I wake up every morning and I pinch myself. I'm living in a perpetual dream. Do you not understand that if you really run hard in this business, I don't care if it's for a year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years, you can put yourself in a position of what doctors are making, brain surgeons are making in this business? Yeah, it's too good to be true. And I just pray that somebody never wakes me. Is that okay? I love this business. I do. Now, some people ask me, how did I get those first 2 people in my business, right? It was really easy. I went for the what? The low-hanging fruit. After I talked to 50 people who wouldn't get in, I went for the usual and obvious suspects. Marty told me that he put his wife in and told his lawyer, if you want to do business with me, you got to get in. So what did I do? I called my sister. I knew her for 30 plus years, right? I said, honey, give me your credit card. We're about to be rich. She never even had the benefit of seeing the presentation like many of you. And most of you won't even go talk to your own family. Go talk to them. They need this business. And many of your family members, if you don't talk to them, they're going to end up in somebody else's organization. I will talk to your mother for you. I would love to have her in my business. The second person who got into this business, and I don't know if there's such a thing as a lower hanging fruit, it was my wife's credit card. It was sitting there minding its own business. I knew I needed 2 people in 30 days. The credit card yelled out to me from the dresser. It said, hey, yo, sign me up. Honey, thank you for your unwilling participation in our business venture. Now listen, I want to tell you that I've had the extreme pleasure to meet people who make no excuses in this business, none. And my team and I, we had the pleasure of watching a guy who came up with 147 of the best excuses. We watched that video earlier today. But if you guys look on the screen, those are people who don't make excuses. They don't. There are a few more platinums that they're not up there, but they don't make excuses either. You can't reach the level of platinum in this company and make excuses. You can't. Because there's always a reason why you can't get it done. There's always a reason why something's going to go wrong. They remove those excuses. This is my personal Hall of Fame. Is that all right? Because when I was running hard in this business, Marty used to say to me, he said, John Owusu's working. He'd do that to me like 11 o'clock at night. He's cruel. All right? And he would always push me forward with these people. Some of these people that you see on the screen, they may not have degrees. Some of them never had experience. But all of them, without exception, had no what? And if you want to get up there, you better get rid of your excuses. Excuses have no place. My nephew used to tell me that excuses are the bricks that we build our houses of failure. No excuses, all right? If you want this opportunity, all you got to do is be hungry and be coachable, and you got to run hard. and just don't quit. Is that all right? Listen, one of the greatest champions that I've ever known in my life, he said, I hated every single day of training. He said, but I told myself, don't quit. Persevere. Press on. He said, because I wanted to live the rest of my life as a champion. I'm telling you today, without exception, every single person in this room, from the balcony up here, the stage, to the person furthest in the back, to the bathrooms on that side and this side and people in the rafters, listen, everybody here could be a champion. This company does not exclude. There's no racism, there's no sexism, there's nothing that holds you back. I don't care what your yesterday was. I don't care what your credit score is. I don't care anything that ever happened to you in life. In this business, you got a new beginning. You got a fresh start. Isn't that great? No excuses. I'm just so thankful that I had the opportunity to run in this business. I'm so thankful for all the mentors that I've seen. For everybody here, I want you to know that your opportunities are straight ahead. And I want to tell you that everybody here that you can do what? You can get it. 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 Then go get it. Go get what you came for. Everybody. My name is Thomas Felder, Senior Vice President for Team TNT. Get it done, get it done, get it done.